everybody, Josh12 back again with another video. Today I'm back with another Dragon Ball Super episode review. I'm here to review episode 91 titled, Which Universe Will Survive? The Strongest Warriors Are Gathering. If you've not seen the latest episode of Super, please check it out because this review may or may not contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get on to the video and review at hand. Now, this episode is very interesting for two reasons. Number one, the trailer sucked. Thank fucking God, because Toei Animation has been doing, like I said in previous reviews, I hope I did say this, for the most part of this arc, they've been pretty much consistent on underwhelming us with their teaser trailers promoting upcoming episodes. I really like the fact that Toei Animation continues to do this because they really blew their wad with the Future Trunks Goku Black stuff, so I feel like it's a good thing that when it comes to teaser trailers, they're kind of being very ambiguous and just showing a bunch of random shit that may or may not actually connect. And also that on the second part of why I found this episode to be interesting is that it's technically like the first episode, very long filler-esque episode intermission period where we're just going to get a whole bunch of filler content of all the other universes forming together, and then the tournament episodes finally conceptualizing and finally beginning and stuff like that. The episode kind of starts off with the Omni Kings kind of playing a horrendous game of rock, paper, scissors. Then they get sidetracked with the Great Priest coming in, telling them what the overall situation is with every individual universe that's going to be partaking in the Tournament of Power. And the first universe that they oversee is Universe 7, which I thought was kind of cool because the Omni Kings have a connection with Goku. They view Goku as a friend, a buddy, so to speak, and they're kind of rooting for Goku's team to really win this Tournament of Power. I like the fact that the Grand Priest, it's still up in the air how far he can go with the Omni Kings and how powerful he can be in comparison to them, but I like the fact that he's a lot like his angel counterparts, are like just giant babysitters for these extremely powerful baby-like gods that we have to deal with in Super. I mean, like, Beerus and Champa and the rest of the gang are adults, but the Xenosamas, these Omni Kings, are fucking little babies, and I love them. I love them to death. Going back into Universe 7 as they're overseeing everything, we figure out that obviously Gohan is the leader of Universe 7 and is coming up with strategies with the help of Supreme Kai, while everybody else is kind of just waiting in the sidelines, just seeing what's going to happen. And Goku decides he wants to start some training. He decides to want to start training with Vegeta. Vegeta is not around because he's gone to Kami's lookout or Dende's lookout for training in the hyperbolic time chamber or the room of spirit and time. And I'm going to ask this one thing, and I don't know if it's true, but based off this episode, I fucking think it is. And that is Mr. Popo. Now, Mr. Popo is a very divisive character, but for the most part, Mr. Popo is a very particular character that you either love him or hate him, or accept the fact that he's a genie and he's basically blackface. But Mr. Popo in this episode, when Vegeta gets to Dende's lookout and is about to enter the hyperbolic time chamber, Popo looks at him and just states, "You better not destroy it like last time, or you can never enter it again." And Vegeta, being the guy he is, he's obviously going to shrug it off and just ignore his ass. And then in true Dragon Ball fashion, Mr. Popo kind of just says, he's probably going to destroy it anyways, as a joke. But I found the first part of that little piece of dialogue funny because it was very Team 4-Star-like. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but Mr. Popo is odd, especially the way he's been used in Dragon Ball Super. But in this episode, it just felt like if you cut that joke out of the equation, that sentence feels like feels like something you would expect from the abridged. So all I want to know is, are the people involved with Dragon Ball Super like fans, or maybe not even fans, but like aware of the existence of Team 4-Star and their Dragon Ball Z Abridged series? Let's move on. Vegeta's in the hyperbolic time chamber, ready to get some good old-fashioned training inside of a fucking room, and vows that he's going to take down Goku, and he's going to take down and be the last surviving opponent in the entire tournament. And this is probably like the one thing that's really bugged me with Vegeta in this episode, because I might be alone in this, but I'm very much sick of Vegeta and his desires to want to be better than Goku. I feel like for all the times you hear someone say that he's finally developed, he's finally the greatest character that everyone's ever seen in this series, yet why is he still vowing to surpass Goku? Like, that's something that's incredibly boring, because the thing that always bugs me about characters like Vegeta or Piccolo and characters like that is that it's almost like unabashedly and blindly holding characters like that at such a high pedestal without looking at the hypocrisy of what these characters do and say on a regular basis that completely defeats the purpose of putting them at such a high pedestal. Because for me personally, as a fan, as a hardcore fan of the series, especially of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I always find it completely stupid for Vegeta and Goku to be at odds in Super, because when you think about it realistically, their relationship really shouldn't be like that. I get it, you know, in the wide masses, in the fan base, in the fandom, the Goku-Vegeta relationship will never die. It's one of those things that it's gonna be like you either love it or you hate it, or you're gonna be on Team Vegeta or Team Goku. It's gonna be one of those things that we're always gonna be at odds for reasons unknown. But I always found that to be stupid, because when you think about it, after they fought together against Kid Buu, they should have had a different relationship. Hell, at the end of Z, they look at each other with such admiration for each other that they do fucking care for each other. They do love each other in some form of fashion that they actually express publicly. And I found it kind of odd that via Super, that they're trying to shoehorn this old style of I'll defeat you one day, Kakarot, and you have Goku being a incredibly idiotic, oblivious character to everything that's going on around him. And it's just sickening that they continue to pull this horseshit. It's like, look, we love Goku, we love Vegeta, we love them hanging out together. We love seeing them fight together. But do we have to see them fight against each other all the time? I think it's time to move on from the Goku-Vegeta rivalry. Is it? Is it? I think so. But regardless of any of that, we get some other interesting things. And I'm going to say this. I love the transitions of this episode. This episode had amazing transitions in the way it told the story and narrative of the episode, that this episode fucking could have had complete dog shit humor, which it kind of did at times, but it still was great in the way it told the story. It wasn't very singular. It wasn't sticking with one specific topic. It jumped around, and I like that. It felt very much like the Topo episode. Granted, this episode has to do that because it has to establish a lot of things that are going to happen, but it was still pretty awesome. We switch over to Universe 6, where Hit is on a mission to find Frost, and we get the grand return of the Universe 6 equivalent to Frieza, which is Frost. And Frost has been on the run since, I want to say, not the Goku Black arc, but ever since the end of the Universe 6 arc, but we finally got to see him back in this episode. I really enjoyed the Hit episodes. Cool to see these weird urban kind of dystopian Blade Runner-esque kind of city backdrops. Really nice touch for them bringing that back, and really cool to see Frost and Hit kind of have a little tussle. But moving off of that and continuing the obvious trend of transitions with this episode, we move on to Yamcha and Master Roshi's debacle. Obviously, this arc can't stop punching Yamcha in the face or in the dick, so to speak, and it's kind of hilarious how they continue to drag on this joke. I just found joy in the fact that they were doing something stupid like this, but then I kind of got bothered with it. But in this episode, they flipped it on its head and decided not to really focus on the fact that Yamcha is obsessing over the fact that he wants to be a part of the team, but yet they're doing some more un-PC Master Roshi's antics. And I can't lie, I know it's disgusting. I know it's wrong. I know it's misogynistic and sexist and just creepy and just completely awful to do. But I love the fact that Toei and Dragon Ball Super continue to use Master Roshi the way he should be used. I mean, for fuck's sake, he was basically molesting and raping Puar. And everybody was cool with it. I mean, like, who the fuck? How the fuck does this get away? How do they get away with this shit? I just thought it was baffling that they would open up the idea of having Puar be like a mental and physical decoy for Master Roshi to basically fap towards. I mean, it's pretty fucked up shit right there. Not to mention the fact of, on the topic of un-PC things, is it just me, or were the animators of this studio working on this episode really creepy fucks? Let me ask you this. Are they fucking creepy weirdos? I mean, number one, having Puar change into a woman to have Master Roshi play and finger her or something, that's some fucked up shit. But on top of that, isn't it kind of weird that every single angel-like character was doing some form of masturbation thing? Like, look very closely. There's portions of the episode where the Grand Priest and that woman fucking angel of Universe 10 was basically doing these weird... Granted, she was dancing, but she wasn't dancing all the time. And they're doing like these weird... They're doing a shake weight. But we really know what that means. We know what that gesture means. It means they're fucking jerking off cock, and I want to know why they did that. You know what this episode is? This episode is the Little Mermaid of fucking Dragon Ball Super episodes. It's fucking weird and creepy, and there's a lot of subliminal messaging, folks, and I fucking like it, and I don't like it at the same time. I appreciate what they're going for, but at the same time, it's creepy and weird. But with all the hand jobs fucking thrown aside, we got a couple more things, once again, transitioning to more story points, and that is Goku training with Whis. If there's something that always kind of bothered me post-Champa Universe 6 tournament, is the fact that Goku and Vegeta kind of went solo again. They trained, yes, here and there a couple of times, very rarely, but for the most part, in the entirety of the Goku Black stuff and the multiple fillers, Goku and Vegeta never really trained with Whis, not to mention the fact that it was cool to see Goku in a gravity room, because even though Vegeta is very, especially nowadays, very synonymous with the gravity room, Goku was the innovator when it came to the gravity room training. So it was nice to see Goku and Whis train under there, and I love that. That was kind of like a really good little touch to the episode that I really enjoyed. And of course, the last component of the episode that is, of course, new, and that is the Pink Lady. There's a character that fucking has the ability to essentially transform, but she's not a regular transformer. Oh no, oh no. She's a Sailor Moon-esque character. But not only that, if you saw the teasers, you were wondering, who is this chick? Is she another urine? Is she another, like, random chick? No, she's not a random broad. Apparently, this character is the same character we see fighting Vegeta in the opening of the arc. Who the fuck figured that shit? Because I fucking didn't. I really enjoyed the fact that Toei Animation was going for this idea of doing like an anti-Sailor Moon, because in the phenomenon that was Sailor Moon and leaked over into multiple other female-centric led animes, young Asian schoolgirl-esque beauties who would transform and become even more beautiful and use their power of beauty and love and compassion to defeat enemies. And they took that theory and plot and re-engineered it into she's already beautiful and she transforms into a horrendous character. So this character is like the anti-Sailor Moon because she transforms from being beautiful to being kind of ugly and horrendous. I like her. I'm gonna say that, I like her. And based off the opening, she's gonna fucking kick some ass and she's gonna fight Vegeta, so there's that. But anyways, the episode finally concludes with Goku and the rest of the gang finding out from Bulma as they're coming up with a plan with the help of Gohan and Supreme Kai as a strategy to fight the rest of the universes in the Tournament of Power. Apparently figure out via Bulma, via Mr. Satan, that based off the spoilers you probably already know, which is of course fucking Boo has fallen asleep and won't wake up for 2 fucking months. It's been the big thing that everyone's been pissed off about. I'm not going to talk about it until we reach more episodes because I just really want to save my thoughts, my official fucking thoughts, because we all know what's coming. We all know what's coming. I'm going to save my fucking rants for when the time comes. But Boo's asleep, Goku's on the move, Beerus is pissed off, and that's pretty much where the episode ends on. Every tournament starts with what characters you got ready to kick some ass. We thought we had everything ready. Universe 7, out of all the universes, were ready for action. Toppa was waiting for his gang, couldn't get shit done. Universe 10, they don't know what they're doing. But Universe 7 was the team we're counting on. Universe 7 was the team we were hoping to win the gold. Universe 7 is the only team, apparently, that the Xenosamas are happy to see actually do something. And, unfortunately, Boo is here to fuck it all up. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. This episode was interesting. Episode 8, 91 was a very interesting episode. I loved the fact that they focused on various things instead of just one topic. However, I will say it also is the major hindrance of this episode. As you can tell based off my review, there was just way too much stuff to talk about. The thing is that Dragon Ball Super has a very limited amount of time to show actual original content outside of the many fucking theme songs, outros, and of course recaps of previous stuff that's going to happen, not to mention promotional teaser trailers for what's going to happen. And when it comes down to it, it makes sense for them wanting to jump around and talk about various different kinds of narrative because of what's to come, which is the actual tournament. But I felt like they tried to shoehorn a little too much. It just felt like too much content that was being heavily compressed into a time slot that they were incapable of really sticking towards. And that's my major problem with the episode. Everything else I liked. The animation artwork was really decent. I love the Hit Frost stuff. Goku versus Whis was really funny. I loved Master Roshi being a complete asshole. There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of interesting stuff. Elder Kai was gonna give Goku ultimate form. Fuck! Wouldn't that be awesome? Too bad we're not getting it anytime soon. But with that being said, my final verdict for this episode 91 has to be a solid 7.5 out of 10. I don't think it's as good or better than the previous episodes like Goku versus Gohan or the Gohan training episodes or Goku hanging out with Android 17, but my major issue other than the Vegeta line over Goku or like any other little tiny nitpicks has to be the fact that they're trying to shoehorn way too much content under a very limited amount of time. That's really my major problem. There was just too much to talk about and such tiny little length. And if you know me, I'm a fucking wackadoo. People like to think that I talk too much because I want to make all that YouTube money. No, it's because I'm a fucking shithead weirdo who loves to ramble. It's nothing new. I've been doing it for years on YouTube. And when you make an episode with so much fucking content about like Casserole trying to catch a cat out of a fucking, I don't even know what, I'm gonna have to fucking talk about it like I just did. See, I'm a fucking weirdo that way. But overall, my final verdict stands as a solid 7.5 out of 10. Hit kicks ass. Sure, he looks like a fucking dildo, purple dildo. People hate it for that, but I fucking love Hit. I think he's awesome, and I want him to be the new rival of Goku. It's time for Vegeta to let Goku go. Let him go. Let Goku go. Let Hit in. Let him in. Let that purple dildo in your mouth and thrust very hard. In and out. In and out. Hit needs to be a part of the team. That's all I'm saying. Next time we got Super Saiyan females. Let's get this shit rolling. Heavy Metal, Dragon Ball Super. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Long-winded response and review right out to you. Hope you enjoyed. This has been John 12.